Hi everyone, Leanne here from Jaded Blossom. It is time for our October 2023 release hop. Okay, so I am using Jaded Blossom's Reindeer Feed stamp set along with their Candy Cane Lane stamp set and their new North Pole sign stamp die set and our border dies. And I've got a little card design. And I'm also using the Booth Christmas Add Ons. So first I have a piece of Blueberry Sky cardstock that's cut 1/8 of an inch smaller than an A2 size card front. And I'm using Tailored Expressions masking stencil, the smallest circle. And I'm taking a picket fence pouncer and I'm using Hero Arts unicorn ink. And I'm just going to pounce on white ink onto this piece of paper. So that's Blueberry Sky from Paper Tray Ink. There we go. Now I'm going to let that dry and I'm going to trim off the sign on this North Pole sign dies. I cut it out of Paper Tray Ink black cardstock. There we go. And I'm going to be making a street light. So what I did is I used a 1/2 inch circle punch and then I punched it out of vellum and then I traced around it to fit 3 of the little holes on the front of the, street light. And I punched them out with that hole punch. And then I cut out a second black one. There we go. And I'm gluing down with my Barely Art glue. And I'll weight that down. So I'm just going to add American Crafts Christmas foil in silver on the bottom and the top. So for the finial and then the little base of the post. There we go. Now you could make this taller if you wanted by using that extended piece that comes with it. I decided to keep it that height just so I could fit everything on my card front. So I'm just going to weight that down. And now I'm going to stick down. This is red Christmas foil from that same 6-inch American Crafts pad. And then I'm using Simon Says Stamps glitter cardstock in red, yellow, green, and white. So the red, I'm trying to make it look like the red light is on. So that's why it has that red silver foil in the background. And then I'm just going to add the little light bulbs to the other 2 little circles. And there we go. So I'm trying to make it look like, we want Santa to stop. So I'm going to cover up those lines on the post with that other post that you can get, to go with this, that comes with this North Pole sign dies. And I'm just going to stick this down now vertically onto it. So I've got a little stoplight sign. There we go. Or street lights, I guess you'd want to call it. Okay, so now I'm using that same Tailored Expression masking stencil and I'm just going to tape it down in the center and I'm pulling out Distress Oxide ink and Chipped Sapphire. And I'm going to ink blend around the edge. I'm going to have snow on the bottom, so it's not too important that there's ink down there. But I'm just going to ink blend around the edge. So I'll have 2 colors of blue going on in my sky. One from the cardstock and one from the Distress Oxide ink. So this doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just kind of making a night sky is what I'm going for. There we go. And I'll peel that off. I just used some Easy C tape to stick it down. And I know there's a tape mark, but I'll fix that. So there we go. So I'm just grabbing that pouncer and I'm going to add a little bit more white to the center. And I'll set that aside to dry. So now I've got an A2 size card front that I made from Paper Tray Ink Pure Poppy cardstock, my favorite red, 4.25 by 11, scored at 5.5 inches with my Martha Stewart scoreboard and my Teflon bone folder. Then I have 2 pieces of white cardstock from Paper Tray Ink that I cut using Jaded Blossom's Border Dies 2. So I just made 2 hills. So I'm going to have a hill in the background and then a hill in the foreground. And I'm sticking that down with my ATG tape. So I'm just going to layer those up. And then I will cut off the overhang with a pair of scissors. There we go. So easy stuff. I'm just sort of making a scene. That's what I'm doing. No gnome on this card. Crazy, eh? I know. I love my gnomes, but sometimes you got to make a card without a gnome on it. Okay, so now I'm sticking this down into my Misty. I've got one of those waffle flower grip mats on the inside, and I'm pulling out the stamp set. Which one is that? That is Candy Cane Lane. And I'm going to stamp in VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink Santa stop here. So that's why I have a stoplight on my card. So I'm going to use the VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink, and I'll stamp that in the lower left-hand corner. There we go. Before I get any, dimension on the card front. Remember, you got to be careful because this stuff will smear until it's dry. So just be careful. Now on the inside, I'm going to add a piece of Neenah Solar White 80-pound cardstock cut at 4 by 5¼ inches. And I'll just stick that down with my ATG tape. There we go. And I'm going to use a piece of ephemera from the Candy Cane Odds and Ends set from Doodlebug. And then this sticker is also from the Odds and Ends, it's from the Candy Cane 12-inch, paper line of Candy Cane Lane. And, you get a sticker sheet. So that's for a sticker from that sticker sheet. And I'm using a sentiment from the other stamp set called Reindeer Feed. And I'm going to stamp Merry Christmas in VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. So that's another new stamp set from this release. So cute, right? So I'll just quickly stamp that. I love a Misty for doing these stamping sentiments because you can stamp it a few times to make it perfect. Remember, don't push too hard because you can squash your lettering and kind of make your letters look fatter than they're supposed to be and not super clear. So you just want to, stamp multiple times if you have to, but just lightly. So I'm going to stick down that little piece of ephemera from the Candy Cane Lane Odds and Ends. There we go. It's got a little Santa making a delivery, right? And I'm taking my Jelly Roll pen in a number 10 from Sakura and adding a few little highlights, just for fun. You don't have to do this at all. Now on the outside, I'm going to add my card front, and I'll do that with a little bit of glue just so I have some wiggle time to make sure things are lined up. There we go. Love that Barely Art glue. It's pretty good. And I'm going to stick that down, kind of lining it up as well as I can. There we go. And I will weight it down with an acrylic block just to make sure it sticks down really well. Now I've got my, from Simon Says Stamp, I've got white glitter cardstock as well. So those other glitters for the little lights were also from Simon Says Stamp, but this is their white glitter cardstock. And I'm just going to cut out the dies that make the snow pieces from that North Pole sign die set. And I just cut out some snow using my Anna Griffin Mini Empress. Loving that machine lately. But my Gemini is also awesome. I use that as well. So I'm just using some scrapbook adhesives. Those are like little foam squares. And I'm going to stick my little street light down to my card front. So like I said, easy stuff. So you're going to want to make sure that you go do the hop. Remember, you have the chance to win a stamp set of your choice by commenting on the blogs. And then you can get inspired by the whole design team, right? They have amazing projects as per usual. So I'm going to add my little snow-covered pieces to this sign using my reverse tweezers and that Barely Art glue as well. There we go. And that little Santa silhouette, that is from the brand new Build a Booth Christmas Add Ons set. So you're going to want to get that because, like, how cute is that little silhouette of Santa and the reindeer, right? I just think it's adorable. So there we go. So remember, everything that I use is always listed on my blog. So if you miss it, you can always check it out there. So I'm just adding on my little pieces of snow. I thought I'd have the snow that's on this little street light. I thought I'd have this little street light covered in the glittery snow just for fun. So now I am taking this little silhouette that I cut out of Paper Trank black cardstock, and I'm going to stick that down on the front of my little card. So I'll have sort of Santa, flying in the background, and then, the sentiment says Santa stop here, and then we've got a stoplight, which I thought would be fun. So there we go. And of course I smear some glue, but that's okay. We'll fix that. And there you have it. So kind of cute, right? It's just another way to use that little silhouette, I think. Isn't that cute? So there we go. So I accidentally turned off the camera. I just added little things from Lucy's cards in soft snowball mix. So I just wanted to add some white little snow dots, right? I'm going to add a few more here. And then I do use the glossy berry mix to add a little red one on his nose. And you can see that up in the upper right-hand corner. Sorry, guys, I just kind of turned off my camera there for a second instead of turning it on. I don't know what I was thinking. But you get the gist. I just add these little dots of snow with my Studio Katia embellishment wand and some Bearly Art glue. And there you have it. So cute, right? So thank you so much for stopping by. Be sure to hop on over to the Jaded Blossom blog and get hopping. The Jaded Blossom store to get your hands on the whole release that's live right now. You can buy things a la carte if you want. And that is all. So thank you so much. And we will see you soon in my next video. Bye, everybody.